In 1979, trouble came to Grenada. Maurice Bishop, a protege of Fidel Castro, staged a military coup and overthrew the government which had been elected under the Constitution left to the people by the British. He sought the help of Cuba in building an airport, which he claimed was for tourist trade, but which looked suspiciously suitable for military aircraft, including Soviet-built long-range bombers. The 6 sovereign countries and 1 remaining colony are joined together in what they call the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. The 6 became increasingly alarmed as Bishop built an army greater than all of theirs combined. Obviously, it was not purely for defense. In this last year or so, Prime Minister Bishop gave indications that he might like better relations with the United States. He even made a trip to our country and met with senior officials at the White House and the State Department. Whether he was serious or not, we'll never know. On October 12th, a small group in his militia seized him and put him under arrest. They were, if anything, more radical and more devoted to Castro's Cuba than he had been. Several days later, a crowd of citizens appeared before Bishop's home, freed him, and escorted him toward the headquarters of the military council. They were fired upon. A number, including some children, were killed and Bishop was seized. He and several members of his cabinet were subsequently executed, and a 24-hour shoot-to-kill curfew was put in effect. Grenada was without a government, its only authority exercised by a self-proclaimed band of military men. There were then about 1,000 of our citizens on Grenada, 800 of them students in St. George's University Medical School. Concerned that they'd be harmed or held as hostages, I ordered a flotilla of ships, then on its way to Lebanon with Marines, part of our regular rotation program, to circle south on a course that would put them somewhere in the vicinity of Grenada in case there should be a need to evacuate our people. Last weekend, I was awakened in the early morning hours and told that 6 members of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, joined by Jamaica and Barbados, had sent an urgent request that we join them in a military operation to restore order and democracy to Grenada. They were proposing this action under the terms of a treaty, a mutual assistance pact that existed among them. These small, peaceful nations needed our help. 3 of them don't have armies at all, and the others have very limited forces. The legitimacy of their request, plus my own concern for our citizens, dictated my decision. I believe our government has a responsibility to go to the aid of its citizens if their right to life and liberty is threatened.
June 19, 1980 was another occasion for counter-revolutionary destabilization. A bomb was placed where thousands of Grenadian patriots had gathered. This bomb was placed and intended to eliminate and to make a mass murder of the Grenadian leadership. It did not do that, but 3 women were murdered. Over 100 people were hospitalized, and the investigations of the government proved that those inside Grenada who were involved in placing the bomb and in making sure that it went off, that they were supported by CIA contact men. And this was yet another occasion when we knew that the CIA was involved in the general destabilization
power
of the country.
Projection into the region, and it is
I have talked with appropriate Navy personnel as well as Air Force personnel who stated unequivocally to me in direct response to questions raised. And their statement was that there is no military significance to this airport on the island of Grenada whatsoever. The problems in that region of the world are economic, political, and social and economic. And they have to be solved in that context. These are not military problems.
The present airport is too small for cargo planes and for jets, making it inadequate for meeting the needs of Grenada's agricultural and tourism sectors.
Right now, a lot of people are complaining in struggle to get to Grenada. And when we have our airports, we won't have that problem anymore. People will be able to leave the States, Canada, wherever they're from, and fly direct here. It'll be much easier for them.
Tourism is second to agriculture as Grenada's source of foreign exchange. The State Department actually contacted travel agents and told them that the government would not be responsible for the safety of U.S. citizens who visit Grenada. The new airport will have a 9,800-foot runway, which is a minimum standard length set by international aviation authorities for the landing of jets. Private firms from the United States, Britain, and Finland have performed major parts of the construction work, but by far the greatest assistance in both funding and construction has come from Cuba.
It would not have been possible without the help and assistance of Cuba. Long live Cuba-Grenada friendship.
Despite Grenada's progress, the United States continues to spread misinformation, not only about the new airport, but also about human rights within the country.
We have to struggle as people who are being destabilized every day to get people out there to understand the really devastating effects of propaganda. According to the Bureau, it had received complaints about mass torture being practiced by the Bishop government. You get this whole question of the disinformation being hidden behind the facade of a free press and a free media generally.
The major media both inside the U.S. and in the Caribbean region have persistently published stories which reflect the U.S. government's position about Grenada.
It says there are over 700 political prisoners on the island. The number of prisoners far exceeds the capacity of the jails. So Bishop has ordered the construction of prison farms similar to those existing in Cuba. We have some prison farms. They are warehousing prisoners in semi-trailers received from Cuba, in which they hold them for many hours under the intense heat of the sun that practically cooks them. We cook in prisoners now in warehouses. This is the same year when if you drive around Grenada, you see the most amount of signs of activity of building. When more and more nationals from abroad are coming back home and building new houses. When more and more activity is going on in all of the other areas in terms of the programs of the revolution.
Despite all the lies and propaganda, the Grenadian people know the truth and are prepared to defend their revolution.
Thank God.
Well, we all was under pressure because I was just...
We all under pressure.
I used to hide myself.
I joined the militia because I'm trying to protect my grandchildren.
Of course.
Right? And through hiding it, many others join because I'm in age. And if I in age join, the others take state.
What's ours is ours. We don't want what America has, or Canada has, or any other country. We want what we have to be ours.
I am responsible for coordinating food and nutrition programs throughout Grenada, Calico, and Petite Martinique. What we have done since we started is to initiate a system of nutrition assistance to each parish. Our nutrition assistants have been able to make direct contact and face-to-face contact with people in the community so that they're able to discuss what their nutritional problems are, particularly with their young children.
A campaign to eat local has been necessary because colonialism encouraged the people for generations to think that expensive imported food was better. Local foods were symbolic of poverty.
It's only when we recognize the root causes of this kind of problem. Root causes in our situation lies in the effects of imperialism and the way they want to keep us down, the way the countries who have the money, the way the countries who produce the grain, for example, which is what our people depend on. 70% of our energy intake comes from flour.
you know, and that is controlled by the United States. The export of it, the price of it, and all that, right? And people are encouraged to eat this rather than to eat what they produce. People are encouraged to continue at a low productivity level so that they continue to be the consumers of wheat.
The Caribbean is seen fundamentally, or Latin America is seen fundamentally, as a collection of banana republics. Our people are not respected. Our sovereignty is dismissed. In fact, some people see us as Neanderthals.
Such arrogance has always characterized the U.S. involvement in the Caribbean.
The more than 200 interventions made by the United States, military interventions, since the 1790s, more than 100 of those interventions have been in the Caribbean.
All of these actions have been taken under the guise of fighting the spread of communism and defending the region for U.S.-style democracy.
Country. But I pray for the police, please inspire them to keep the peace. Oh, Father, I pray for the judge and the jury and those who begging for them mercy. Oh, Father, I pray and I pray, I pray and I pray, I pray for the good and the bad man. I pray and I pray, I pray and I pray, I pray for the whole of the nation. Father, hear my prayer. Condition sometimes is so unbearable. It's very hard for the youth to stay out of trouble. Some of them went to school and they graduate with their degree, but they still cannot find nothing to do in this country. That's bad. I'm sure you know that this whole saying is true. The devil always have plenty work for those who idle. So they turn to drug alcohol and recklessness. whole lot of peace in my country. Father, I pray for the woman who give herself to prostitution. Oh, Father, oh, Father. I pray for the lovely young lady who raising her child without daddy. Oh, Father, oh, Father. I pray and I pray, I pray and I pray. I pray for the con and the job man. I pray and I pray, I pray and I pray. I pray for the old man. Neighbor boy, neighbor. I woke up in a special way this morning, this morning. I don't know why I feel this way this morning, but something really touched my soul this morning, this morning. Something precious more than gold this morning. Morning neighbor, hear me, I scream and shout, what's the matter? She asked me what it's all about. Something burning, burning deep within my soul. And this feeling I just can't control. I don't know if it's real, but I want to tell the world how I feel. You should love thy neighbor as thyself, I say, and put an end to violence today. Help your fallen brother by the way, and surely we would see a brighter day. Neighbor, 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 love thy neighbor. Neighbor, 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 love thy neighbor. We should live in love, oh neighbor. Come, come, come. La 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 la. Oh, 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 oh. I've got to let the whole world know this morning, this morning. 'Cause I never felt this way before this morning. But it really makes me want to sing this morning. Little children, hear me, come gather round. Oh my children, I beg you, hold hand in hand. Are you ready? Sing a song of peace and be happy. In a time like this, it's not yet too late. We could break down the barriers of hate. You should love thy neighbor as thyself, I say, and put an end to violence today. Help your fallen brother by the way, and surely we will see a brighter day. Neighbor, 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 love thy neighbor. Neighbor, 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 love thy neighbor. Mash it up.
Chavez, all right. So, brother, this is a simple question, right? It's a word that everybody use in carnival time. The word is bacchanal. So the question is, what is the definition of it, and what's the origin of it? You used the word bacchanal before, right? Yeah. So when you use it, what do you think is what it means?
Quarreling with one another, you know, gain each other, talk, you know, vibes on each other, making joke with one another.
Okay. Yeah. And where you think it comes out from? Which country?
Sounds like a French word, so I say like France, somewhere around there.
Okay. You want to give it a try? Or you good? All right. Well, it was a good try though, but it's not the right answer to that. It's a simple question about carnival. So the question is, what's the definition of bacchanal, and what is its origin?
Okay, I believe that bacchanal is a French word. I believe that's its origin. It means a state of confusion. That's my answer.
That's the answer? Okay. Well, it's close with the confusion. The origin is off. It's close to the confusion, but that's not the right definition. Huh? Okay, give it a try.
All right, I'll say the origin of bacchanal. It's probably patois.
Patois? Simple question. Everybody uses this word in carnival time. So the question is, what is the definition of bacchanal, and what is the origin of it?
Definition of bacchanal? To me, or?
No, the actual definition.
Of bacchanal?
Yeah. You used the word bacchanal before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you should know the definition then.
Of the word bacchanal?
Yeah. If you use it, then you're supposed to know what it is.
Definition of the word bacchanal is no peace.
Who?
Like when you have, okay, then you're not in a state of peace. Like it's not war, but then yet probably giving trouble to a point. I don't know the dictionary description.
Okay, so when people play carnival, they
to get crazy. Like they do things that they don't normally do throughout the course of the year. You know,
Okay. And what is the origin of bacchanal? Where did it come from?
Since I know myself, he did. Down life, yeah.
All right.
So I'm guessing he come from with 4 parents.
What is the definition of bacchanal, and what is its origin?
Bacchanal?
Yeah, bacchanal. You used this word before, right? Okay, so in your mind, what do you think it is?
Bacchanal is all about behaving bad and having fun in carnival.
Okay, and what's the origin of it? Where it comes from?
It comes from, I don't know, our culture, I guess.
From Grenada culture?
I think, yeah, that's where I learned it from. Grenadians.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm here with my brother. What's your name, brother?
Randy.
All right, my brother Randy right here. So the question is, I'm about to ask, is a simple question. Everybody does say this word during the time of carnival time. So it's the word bacchanal. So the question is, what is the definition of bacchanal, and where's the origin from?
All right, origin from Trinidad and Tobago, and it means like madness, craziness. Everybody getting on, you know, enjoying themselves.
Okay, so the definition of bacchanal is to go crazy, and what else?
And enjoy yourself.
And enjoy yourself. And you said, okay, and you said the origin is from where?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, what's your name, brother?
Rashad.
All right, my brother Rashad right here. He's going to answer the question and see if he could figure it out. It's a very simple question. Everybody says this word during the time of carnival time. Everybody says it. So I'm assuming that everybody's supposed to know the definition of it. So the question is, what is the definition of bacchanal, and what's the origin of it?
The definition is like partying, fiesta in a form, right? And it's like a fiesta, partying, sort of, right? And the origin is French, Spanish. But so many.
You're the only person I gave a try to. I'm tired of people giving me the wrong answer. So yeah, one more try. Huh?
Dutch?
Not even close.
Oh, bacchanal. Oh, bacchanal.